it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio,
Tumwa, Iowa.
Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up. Hey there, it's Jordan with Status Coup, and I'm here with a sincere request to all those who oppose the barbaric, inhumane, evil Israeli genocide of Palestinians in Gaza that has been going on for 18 months and sadly does not seem to have an end in sight. For those of you that don't know about Status Coup, we are an independent investigative news outlet that covers stories on the ground, in the trenches, that the corporate media covers up. We have covered over 100, let me repeat, over 100 ceasefire protests against this genocide. Our cameraman, John Farina, has covered protests in New York City, D.C., Chicago, outside the Democratic National Convention. We've covered protests in Los Angeles. We've covered ceasefire protests. We've covered student encampments. We've covered protests against the illegal sale of Palestinian land. We've been out there in the cold, in the heat, morning, noon, late night, midnight, because we do not believe U.S.-funded genocide should be normalized. We want to continue covering this critical story that the corporate media wants to cover up, but it is expensive and it requires us to expand. And we will not take money from the very corporations that support and fund this type of genocide. That's why we ask you to support us. You could support us as a paying member for as low as $5 a month. StatusCoup.com/join, or you could donate any amount, small or big, to support this investigative on-the-ground journalism. Now let me show you just some of our reporting from the last 18 months.
Marching here on the streets of New York City while a genocide is going on in Gaza. Innocent men, women, and children are being collectively punished, and unfortunately, so many others, besides the thousands murdered, so many others are starved to death. This is something that humanity should never allow. As human beings, we stand up and we join so many other people here in New York City and the world over, and we condemn this genocide. This genocide has to stop in its entirety.
Since the horrors of October 7th, Status Coup's John Farina has led all journalists covering protests all across America, in New York City, in Washington, D.C., in Chicago, Illinois. We've also covered protests in Los Angeles. From ceasefire now protests to student encampments to protests outside the Democratic National Convention, Status Coup has led the way covering what the mainstream media covers up.
The Zionist lobby is strong in America. The Zionist lobby is really strong in America, and if you're an American that cares about the United States of America, you would be worried. Why is Israel the only country on planet Earth that the United States of America unconditionally supports? I challenge one person, one pundit, one Israeli Knesset member, one U.S. congressman or woman to find another country that we unconditionally support. Why do we unconditionally support Israel?
I'm gonna buy land in Gaza. I'm gonna buy beachfront property in Rafah. What happened to Rafah? No more.
Go to Gaza and just blow up already.
In the last 3 months, we know the Israeli government forces have killed at least 112 journalists and media workers in Gaza. And it's so important, as being the only Palestinian American serving in Congress, that I try as much as I can to have many of my colleagues and so many others to understand we cannot continue to just talk about the numbers. Palestinians are human beings. Behind each of these numbers was a name, was a life, with a loving family and a future.
I would also like to call out the silence by the press in this country and most of the West, as their very own peers are being slaughtered for doing the very jobs they do. Why it is that so many had I'm trying to figure out why it is that so many had the courage to speak out about the killing of Jamal Khashoggi and the arbitrary detention of Evan Gershkovich. But few have anything to say as dozens and dozens of journalists are killed in Gaza. Why do we yet again see a red line in our solidarity and humanity when the journalists are Palestinian? If democracy truly dies in darkness, what does that say about the collective silence about these mass atrocities?
So many people are trying to quiet, shut us up, take us out. Trying to say, not to speak out. But if we journalists don't speak up, that means society doesn't speak up. That means they don't know.
These are professional thugs.
I'm calm. You guys back up.
Millions of dollars are spent day after day killing children. It's not even just the children that are being killed. It's the violence and trauma that is being inflicted in every single one of us. Because believe me, all of us are tired of going to bed thinking that we are putting the tax dollars that are killing people across the country because of the U.S. war machine, and we are gone.
The world has to wake up, and America has to wake up. Listen, we cannot be part of genocide, of killing women and children and babies. Have some mercy, have some soul. You know, how can you sleep at night thinking about it, that your tax dollar are responsible of killing innocent children just because AIPAC controlled this country? Wake up, America. Wake up. For God's sake, wake up. The whole world is screaming.
Again, that was just some of our reporting over the last 18 months in New York, D.C., Chicago, L.A., over 100 protests when the rest of the media was covering substanceless nonsense. We will continue covering this, but frankly, we need your help. If you can support us, you can support the cause of real, living, breathing, independent journalism for as low as $5 a month. That's 16 cents a day, because so few others are doing it. StatusCoup.com/join to become a paid member. We also do a monthly members only call with our paid members. And you could also donate at StatusCoup.com/donate. Please help us keep waking up the masses.